Hi, so today we are going to make a model Eiffel Tower. It's going to be very simple design, but let's get started. So we're going to start with a pyramid. We want to make it tall and we want to make it wider as well. And to make it wider, you want to click the white square and shift S and then drag, and that'll make the whole thing equal. So you want something that kind of looks like that. Feel free to make it as big as you want, it's up to you. Make mine a little bit bigger. Next, we're going to go ahead and get a cylinder and just put it here. And then we're going to turn and rotate the cylinder 90 degrees. Once we do that, we're going to make it larger. You want something kind of like this. And we're going to click the hole button over here. And what that'll do is it'll make your shape somewhat see-through. And that's because we're going to end up taking this out. Like, we're going to be removing this section of the pyramid. So I'm going to make it come in a little bit more. I'm going to make it a little bit taller. This is definitely a part where you kind of have to play around with it. So you want something that kind of looks like this. This is what it looks like from the other side. And that shaded in area that's like a dark grayish color is what will be taken away. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to duplicate this. We're going to drag it over. And you want to get it pretty equal so that everything looks pretty equal like that. That'll just allow, that'll allow your shape to be pretty much equal on all sides. As you can see, this side is higher than this side, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it out a little bit. It's still higher, so one thing that could happen is that if you don't scale everything equally on one side is that it could be a little off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this out a little bit more. That looks pretty equal. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select just the two ovals. So I'm going to just select these two, and we're going to duplicate. Then while those are still selected, we're going to go over here and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Now this part you will have to play around with a little bit, which is getting just the right distance. So as you can see, those gray lines right here all connect perfectly. So that's how you know it'll all be taken away at the same height. So now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to select everything and we're going to go up to the group button at the top. Oh, undo. One other thing, if you want your Eiffel Tower to come out smoother, what you can do is you can add more sides to all of your cylinders, which is just this drop down there's something that says sides, and you can drag it all the way to the far right. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and that'll give us a clean shape. And now if we go ahead and select everything, you can see it's not as blocky as this one, it's much smoother. And that's how we get the base of our Eiffel Tower. So now we're just going to build off of the shape. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these. It's like a half cylinder. I'm just going to place it right in front here. And then we're going to drag it all the way through. Also going to make it a little bit, oops, I want to make it a little bit taller. Like that. Now we're going to we're going to hold this. So we're going to make it a hole, and then we're going to duplicate. And now we will rotate it 90 degrees, and you may have to reposition it. So I'll reposition mine right about there. And then we're just going to select everything, and we're going to group it all. And that's how we get the holes at the base of our Eiffel Tower. So what we'll do is we will just slowly work up our way up. So once we get those, then what we'll do is we will take another cube, we'll go around. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. I'm also going to make it larger by holding at Shift S. Then I'm going to move it about there. You want it kind of in the center, because what we're going to do is we're going to raise it up to right here. And it might be a little large, so what you can do is you can go ahead and just grab the corner, the center pieces, and you can bring it in. Now we have this little ledge, and then on this little ledge we're going to make the next hole over here, as you can see. So for that we're going to grab this little, I believe they call it the roof shape. I'm going to bring it up a bit. Then we're going to add a cube. The cube we're going to bring up and over. And then we're going to bring it down a little bit, because you want this kind of trapezoid shape. And we're going to hold that cube. We're going to turn that cube into a hole. And then we're going to select both of those and group them. And that's how we get this shape. And then this shape will then become another hole for the Eiffel Tower. So what we'll do is we'll bring it up, and we'll bring it over, then we'll reposition. And to bring it up or down, you just look for this black arrow, and that's how you can quickly grab it and then drag. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Shift S, and I'm going to make this whole thing slightly smaller. Put it about there. Then I'm going to bring it down because we want it kind of connecting with that red piece. So I'm going to bring it to there. And then we're going to make this green piece a hole. And then you can select everything and group. And now you have that. Whoops, I forgot. Okay, so before we group everything, very important step, you have to duplicate this. So we're going to duplicate and rotate. So we're going to duplicate and rotate. Now we're going to group everything. So that way there's 4 holes, not just 2. So now we have all of these little cutouts. So we'll go ahead, we'll make another square, and then I'm going to flatten it a little bit and drag it up. And over. You might have to scale it up a bit. It all depends on how big your Eiffel Tower is. So I'm going to do that. It was weird. And bring it down a little bit. And then you can play around with getting the distances how you'd like. I'm going to leave mine where they are for right now. Next we're going to grab another cube. This one we're just going to drag straight up. We want it close to the top. Position. I'm going to make mine a little shorter. I'm going to drag in a little bit. And then if you go ahead and you group everything, it'll make it all one color, or you can select everything and make it one color. And that's how we get a basic Eiffel Tower that you can then build off of and design off of. And if you want, you can add like your initials at the bottom of the leg, or you can put them on the top. You can write your name. The nice thing about this model is that it's very simple and you can print it or make it however you want. And that is it. So thank you.